Hey everyone, I'm Lensman Oz here, and this is episode 22 of Regrowth. Now, I said I was going to do some more automation in this episode. I've been trying to work out how to do it, and I think I need mechanism pipework and logistical sorting and all that sort of stuff first. So I'm going to put that on hold for a moment. I have gone through and made all the jabber barrels. You can see them here, and if I stand here, you can just you can see them at each point. So each of the hopper hocks is in and working, and well, except for this one. This one doesn't really have anything to do, but I made them all to fit all the spots, so I put them all in. I didn't bother making barrels for this area. But there's barrels there all the way down, and I did start looking at putting buildcraft piping in, and I think that's a mistake. So it's a fairly expensive mistake because it's all quartz. But yeah, the joy of the nether seeds, for example. But yeah, I'm gonna go away from the buildcraft pipes because they, obviously if something's full when it gets there, it just falls out on the ground. Whereas I don't think the mechanism ones do that. I think they just hold the items in them, which can cause lag a little bit, but yeah, probably better than spilling items everywhere and causing lag in that respect. So I've been working my way through a bunch of other stuff that needed to be finished. First, I'll start handing in these quests. I've got a chest here with a bunch of items in it that I've done. So first one in the way the world works is the tainted blood pendant here, which you would have seen in the chest. And I believe it's, what does it say in the thing? Pretty much you can make a potion and infuse it into the pendant. So we've got one here as a reward. So let's see what that one is. Brew of Adrenaline. So it gives haste 2 when I'm wearing it. I don't think it gives it unless I'm wearing it. Let's put it on. Haste I think is for mining, isn't it? Not for speed. Yeah. So it gives me haste 2 while I'm wearing it. Probably uses a little bit of mana. So not going to wear that. It's good for regen if you're in a fight. I think that's the idea behind it. Is yeah, while you're doing some of the boss fights, grab them, put a nice regen spell in it, potion I should say, and it'll keep you nice and healthy. Let's put a few things away. So next, so that's out of there. Again, I haven't gotten to the point of doing terrasteel. I'll make up some sparks at some point. I've been trying to fill my mana pool back up again because I've been using a fair bit of it going through and making items. So in the way the world teaches, we've got to do these quests yet. And then we've got this one here, what the world enables. So these are the ones that I was working on. Sort of buildcraft machinery, etc. So I've made the lasers. You can see them here. They're mounted up. And when my book opens again, there we go. So crafting task was to make a laser and an assembly table. So if you remember, they needed titanium for mariculture, the diamond gear and mana diamond for the table, and the laser was similar, but it needed 2 titanium and a mana diamond, 3 redstone, and then this damaging mana lens, which is a rune of wrath. And a mana lens, rune of wrath, fairly simple. And due to having diamonds for days, we're fine making these things. I did go ahead and make the casting pattern for a gear thanks to the tip in the comments. It definitely does save a lot of material, and you can go straight to gold or a bronze in the case of the ones I've just been making. So yeah, the task for the lasers was to make a basic gate. Basic gate required red pipe wire and a redstone chipset. Redstone chipset's just redstone. Red pipe wire is some red dye and iron as well. And these basic little lasers made the wire, etc. I don't know why I put steel plates in there. They need to go into here. Okay. So I'll hand that one in. We're going to get 2 more lasers and a couple of redstone chipsets. Which is cool. So I'll just throw the chipsets in here. And I'm going to put the lasers in here because I need to rearrange some cabling here before I go and throw them down. So back into that one. And you might notice there's a little bit of power running through this all the time. Kind of jumped the gun a little. And I've made a mechanism heat generator. Now it doesn't generate much at all. It's generating, like, as you can see here, almost 1 RF a tick. 0.93 of a RF a tick. And that's just passive generation. I've got 4 lava blocks around. I'll probably put 1 more on top, but then I wouldn't be able to access it. But it's just slowly ticking over, and that's just filling up some of the machines I've got sitting up here, like the rolling machine's full. I did have I'm squeezing up some seeds here for one of the quests, so I need another bunch. It's probably not the most efficient way of doing it. I probably should have. Maybe I can use melon seeds. So the idea is we need a bucket of seed oil, I believe. So I've just been squeezing up. Let's see. Yeah. Just squeezing these up because I need them to make something in the carpenter. Coming soon. So, other thing I've done is we made the refinery in the task, and then it asked me to make the fuel. So I found that, I think you remember I pointed out I had a bucket of oil in one of the chests there. Put the bucket of oil in the refinery just sitting up here, and it made it into fuel, and then I realized I couldn't use a bucket to get it out. So I've just set up a basic mechanism tank here, which really is very cheap. The mechanism tanks 4 iron, 4 redstone, and it holds, I think, 14 buckets. I think it was in the tooltip. No, it's not going to show me on the tooltip. It holds about 14 buckets. So yeah, just pumped it out into here, and then with this you can throw an actual bucket in here, and it will put it into that bucket. So I've got my bucket in here waiting for the seed oil at the moment, and that's slowly working its way through. Not enough power. Very, very slowly, just ticks its way over as that generates more. I can make that faster. Make that faster using lava. So you can put a tank of lava in there, or a bucket of lava into the actual unit, and it will speed it up some. It puts out about 30 or 40 RF a tick then, but obviously just uses the lava, whereas at the moment it's passive. So we've made that. We're going to get 4 fluid tanks of fuel, which is pretty decent. Will come in handy. And I'm going to place the rewards into here as well. So we can use that fuel in a combustion engine. So a buildcraft combustion engine, just to generate a bit of power. And mainly because of the problem we have where, what happened to my map? That's odd. Well, we had that oil that was on the mountain up here, somewhere up here. Yeah, I don't know why my map's done that. We can get a little bit more oil, but generally it's not much oil in the world. That being said, the next quest in that line is a fermenter, and this is your first step into making biogas. So you need the fermenter, and I think you put like wheat and water in there, and it'll turn down to biogas or biofuel of some description. And I've made both of those items, so the fermenter and the biogas engine, and they're going to give us some lava, water, and some fertilizer. So let's put these in here. And that's obviously for these two. Next thing I've done is the next one here, which is to make a still. What that does is, I think it turns biomass into ethanol. It's been a while since I used the system in forestry to do it, but 16 biomass cans, and I guess you run them through the still, and that turns it into ethanol, which can be run in a combustion engine. So we could set up a couple of combustion engines as long as they've got water to keep them cool, and throw a few ethanol cans or whatever into them, and they will produce power. So I will set that up a little bit later, probably in between episodes. Try and this. I mean, this is our power plant, but it's going to get a little bit messy if I start putting too much of this stuff over here, and whether or not I end up moving the power plant over there somewhere, right near the ocean. We can just pull water straight out, pump it into each of the machines that we need, because at the moment there's just water to the bottom of the boiler. Next quest. Now that we were producing steel from the wrought iron in the blast furnace over there, I've made the next tier of steam engine or steam boiler, which is the liquid fueled one, and a high pressure boiler tank. So liquid fueled firebox is some steel plates, iron bars, fire charge, furnace bucket. The high pressure boiler tank is just a couple of bits of steel, or steel plates. So remember, steel plates in the rolling machine. And then the industrial steam engine. It's a couple of steel gears. You can't use, I don't believe you can use steel in the smeltery through the gear thing. I haven't tried it, but I just made these the way it suggests, which is 4 steel and 4 tin for the little bushings. And then piston, redstone, a couple of steel plates. We get a few more of that as a reward, which is cool because we can make a little, I guess a little 2x2 or 2x3 tall liquid fueled boiler, which we could run off, I don't know, ethanol maybe? Not sure what it actually can use. So that's that, and then the other one was to make steel tanks. Same recipes as the iron tanks. Nothing too over the top there. Just some more steel. We'll claim that. Fluid pipes. Some steel tank walls. Awesome. So that's about all I've done there. I still haven't worked out, well, I still haven't had a chance to work out how to use the scooper gear. The other thing I have done is down in here, which is I made this, the hyacinth, which uses mana to produce bees, and I thought it would produce beehives, but it doesn't. It just, I threw it down over here, and then it will just spawn bees in the open. You'll just have bees sitting on the ground. So I guess in that respect, a hopper hock, if you're going to do it, would be good. Into just a chest or something. But I made a few bees, and then I've thrown the hyacinth in here. I put the bees that I collected in this chest. So you can see here, these are the ones that produce, so wintry, modest, mystical, unusual, forest, and meadows. So it's just sort of random generated bees. Don't think I got any, no, I didn't get any princesses or queens, just all seem to be drones. That's alright. So what I was working on next was this one here, so to make an apiary, in which we're going to need, it's only 250 millibuckets of seed oil, but to get it into the unit I was going to bucket it in. So to make an impregnated case, we're going to need some wood and then some seed oil. So that seed oil hopefully will be working. Now we're at 420. Very slowly going. I could probably... Okay, let's just turn this on. And I've been trying to keep an extra bucket because I don't want it to explode, obviously. Whenever I run this... Oh, let's put the whole bucket in. Come here. I've been opening up the inventory, or the GUI, and leaving a bucket in here, just to keep that extra bit of... so that's got basically 5 buckets of water in it. That'll generate its way up. It's got plenty of coal in it, I believe. Yep. So that should hopefully give us a little bit more power for this. It will need to kick off a bit harder yet. So what do we got? 440, another 30, so that's only about 700 and something. So let's grab a few more seeds. Probably just a couple more from that. That'll do. I don't want to make too much. Alright, I'll let that go. And we'll look at what else we've got to do. I'll just quickly show you I've made the witchery area a little bit greener. And there was a suggestion from, I believe it was John Snape, who said about using wood as like an altar. Or as a plinth, I guess, to put the altar on. I've done that, and we're getting a pretty decent power in the altar. This definitely did add a good chunk to the generation, and I thank you for that, John. That was a great little tip. I'm not sure what sort of levels I need, but you know, it's definitely helping. Bone mealed the grass a little bit. Oh, I brought some pasture seeds over and made the grass. Planted one of each tree type thing. Put some Spanish moss up, which would be good because we can, you know, grab that and one, use it for crafting, but two, I can maybe spread it a little bit further around. We got some of the ember moss that's spreading itself out there and some glintweed. So this is starting to look pretty good. And our altar power, I guess every time these go up a little bit, will, did that not stay there? Yeah, staying there. That was weird. It's going up as well. So sort of leaving this, I don't think this area is chunk loaded when I'm in the main part of the base, so which is a bit of a downer. Because it is so far away. But it's looking quite good, nice and green. Haven't had any mobs spawn there either, so that's an even better thing. So I'm starting to get a little bit of lag here. Let's have a look. What's this one? Hibiscus. Simply feed the hibiscus your ignoble princess. It'll make them... Oh, okay, so it turns your ignoble princesses into pristine ones. What's the recipe for that? Whoa. That takes a lot of runes. I've probably got them all, but whoa. That's definitely a interesting crafting thing. And what else we got here? So apiarists. We need to start producing bees. And we need to start getting whatever produces silky combs. Infectious, viscous, sticky, caustic, corrosive. Wow. Tropical. So as a minimum, we need to get some tropical bees. I don't know if I've got any yet. Definitely something I'm going to need to work on later is... Ah! Don't jump into the smeltery. So, got a few things here to do. I'll wait till this is finished. And then the next thing I want to do is work on witchery. So I'm going to cut here for a second. I'll get some stuff ready for witchery and dirt my way through a little bit, and I'll be right back. The seed oil finished fixing itself up into, into a bucket's worth. So I've transferred that to the carpenter. I've just thrown some wood in here. Not quite enough. I wanted to use all of the seed oil up, so I just need a couple more logs. Doing a bit of lumberjacking. These cypress saplings are pretty cool because they're such a tall tree, and it only needs to be planted a 1 by 1. And it's always, so far for me, it's always been fairly dead straight. So I might just swap these out. I mean, these vermilion ones grow fast. But these, you can see they're dead straight. I got 16 logs out of that one tree. So it's not a bad return. What do I need? Just need a couple more. Let's see if we can bone meal one up. That's what I'll do. Or this one. One of them will work. Probably need to get rid of some of these leaves. And it'll grow. Fingers crossed. You can see they're a nice tall tree. Definitely, let's see what we get out of it. Definitely a really good source of wood. So yeah, and again, another 16 logs. I think cypress may be the way to go at the moment. Okay, getting a few as they collapse down. So in the meantime, I'm going to throw them away. Let's go and throw just a couple more bits of wood in. While this has still got some heat in it and it can finish charging it up. What do we need? 2 more? Use that last 250 millibuckets of seed oil. A bit of power. So this is still hot, so it's, if you let it cool down too much, then it takes a long time to heat back up and generate power. But this should be almost done. Okay, so we've got 4 impregnated casings. We didn't need 4, but I figured, why use a quarter of a bucket when you got the whole bucket in there? So just quickly going back to where that was, in here. I'm just going to need some planks and some slabs, and we'll make a couple of apiaries. So that's in there for this next piece. I realized, even though I'd done all that seed breeding, I hadn't actually done the water artichoke ones because they're just a little bit of a pain in the backside. So I'd kind of ignored that one. So I've set them up to work their way through. So this was anointing paste for witchery. That was the first quest that I needed to do. And that just the 4 seeds. So I'll do that. Let's get a couple of these. We need some slabs. So this will get us 2. And oops. Just make a few more planks. This will get us 2 apiaries. We'll get another 2. Another 2 now. Not them. Them. Like so. And then we got 4 apiaries, which are better than bee houses because they can be automated. The bee houses can't. And you can't add the extra combs into the bee house, only into the apiary. So let's get our book back out. We've done that. We're going to get another 4. So that'll keep us going quite well once we organise an area to set up for the bees. I may end up possibly doing that here, just turn this back into dirt. So next things to do there would be untreated frames, which is just sticks around a string. What else is there? Beelizer. We've got the carpenter up there. I just need to put 2 buckets of water and a couple of items in it. We can do that. I'll do that in between episodes as well. And then I'll work towards getting, what's this one? Okay, and this is the flower I think someone was talking about. in the comments about a way to generate mana with the bees that you don't need anymore. So once you're going to be generating heaps, you can feed it princesses too for a larger mana burst. That's right. So once you get all these big drones, big piles of drones built up, start feeding them back to generate mana, which will be good, hopefully, and then generate new types. So I'll dump these into here. We've got our first quest done, I think. No, not in there. It was here. So we needed anointing paste, and then we need a witch's cauldron. So a witch's cauldron, how do you make that? Okay, so I think we need to make a normal cauldron, and then right-click it with the anointing paste. I'm guessing. I'm hoping I'm guessing right. So let's grab some iron. Got 3, 6. No, it's always the way. That's got a recipe in it. I seem to be leaving recipes in tables a lot lately. So it's cauldron. I don't think it's like this. I think it's actually right-click in world. So let's try that. We'll just pick up these saplings. Take it over here. I don't exactly know where I'm going to set it up. Probably more over whether to put it near the witch's oven or to make its own little area over here. Hey, witch's cauldron. So do I need to pick that up now? Yes. And that's another quest done. So we're going to get a bunch of rewards here. And that's unlocked heaps of stuff, which is cool. So the altar has already been done. I'm going to get some pumpkins and melons and Spanish moss. And if I had room in my inventory. Let's put these in here. Let's see. So I'm guessing it's saying, if you put melons and stuff down here, that'll help as well. Perhaps to build the altar power up. Can't hurt. Throw a few around. Anyway, put them into here. The wolfsbane. And I'm not sure. I'll have to look into what the witch's cauldron needs to be over. I might end up putting a bit of a concrete area here or something for it to sit on so it doesn't light things on fire. So that's a couple of witchery ones done. I think we're getting close to the end of the episode here. So not much more I'm going to be able to get done in this episode. We need to do a bunch of things here. Tuned stone. Okay, I'm going to need to get the portal made in Britannia before we can do that. What else we got? Polynesia charm. Odor of purity, whiff of magic. That's probably not that hard. A couple of odor of purity and whiff of magic. Let's see if we've got them really quick. Got an odor of purity. Put some clay jars in here. Coal. What was whiff of magic? Some rowan saplings. Let's just grab half of what we got here. And I'm going to need another odor of purity, which is hawthorn. Oh, look at that, straight away. Let's take them out of there. And grab a few hawthorn saplings. And what else do we need for that Polynesia charm? We needed some netherrack, iron, and a fish. Shouldn't be too hard. Oh, awesome. You can come out of there too. I know I probably need more of them for other recipes, but for the moment, we're going to leave it at that. I will work out a way of getting more saplings, I guess. Let's see. 4 of these. And a raw fish. Oh, I've got raw fish over here in this chest. Did it have to be a cod? Looks like it has to be a cod. I don't really want to kill one of these just to satisfy the quest. So we can try it. Minnows. Oh well. We'll just try it with a regular fish. See what it does. It's probably going to not work. Fingers crossed. Oh. Alright. I guess it's got to be cod. I don't know if I can transmute this guy into cod. That would be interesting. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, that's a bummer. I will get that done in between episodes. I'll get some cod and we'll make that pendant in between. So I'm going to cut it here. Thank you as always for watching. I'm trying to work on some different stuff. Like witchery is something I've honestly never done any witchery before, so it's going to be a bit of hit and miss, and I will rely on you guys to help me out, because SomewhatInfinite hasn't been able to get on, and with the server possibly being changed, the pack being changed, this will go to a single player series. So once that happens, then it's just me and trying to work things out. So yep, definitely will rely on you guys to come up with the info, and you haven't let me down in the past, so I'm looking forward to the I guess insight that you guys have. So thank you all for watching. Please leave your comments in the section below, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you later.